You're listening to Side by Side with Kathy Wilson. Episode 40, Duncan and the Trifle. My mind at that moment was totally consumed with the creation of my trifle. It was to be my contribution to the chorus potluck dinner. Duncan was intent on taking me into the grocery store, finding what I required, and then getting us both out again amid the mayhem of Saturday shoppers. The store was crowded, and like most male shoppers I know, Duncan prefers a soft couch with a treat to munch on. Clutching my cart, I did a mental review of the items I would need. Duncan, find me the jelly rolls. There's a good lad. As Duncan moved forward, I continued to picture my dessert taking form. I already had my sherry, but why were we stopped? Duncan stood straight with his legs stiff and a large question mark on his face. A long line of carts began to form behind us. We were definitely being noticed. Duncan, forward! I commanded in my most authoritative voice. He just stood there, but now I saw the reason for our sudden halt. Coming towards us with the speed of a kid about to do his homework was a tiny woman in shades of beige, with a shopping basket over one arm and her handbag dangling from the other. She was most intent on this handbag, devoting her total attention to its contents. Had she lost her wallet? Were her keys hiding somewhere within the depths of her purse? She stopped right in front of us and began to prod each item as she pressed on with her search. She appeared to be completely unaware of me and the line of shoppers she was blocking. Should I ask her to please move? I couldn't turn around. There just wasn't room to maneuver a shopping cart plus a large black lab in the narrow canyon of grocery shelves. Time was passing, and surely I needed to do something. Duncan was enthralled with Miss Beige and her handbag. He was content to stand there, offering his silent moral support. He was ready to offer his assistance any way he could. The impatient gentleman behind me suggested that I tell her to move. I decided to follow his suggestion. When the lady looked at me, "Your dog's nose is in my purse." I couldn't believe it. Duncan's always a gentleman, yet there was no denying it. Facts are facts. My friend and guide dog was closely examining her large handbag, with only the ears of Dunk's very large head in sight. I smiled somewhat sheepishly at Miss Beige and replied, "Dunk was hoping that you might have a cookie in there. He loves his goodies." She immediately left the traffic snarl, enabling Duncan and I to locate the jelly roll. The first layer of my trifle was now complete. We found the fruit and moved on to the dairy section to find the whipped cream, when the end of my shopping cart clipped a display of Dream Whip. Have you ever noticed that shopping carts seem to be narrower at the front end than they are at the back? This shopping cart could also have been improved with a trip to Canadian Tire for a wheel alignment, as it tended to pull to the right. Whatever the reason, an avalanche of Dream Whip boxes tumbled to the floor. Duncan received an assault to his backside from a belligerent Dream Whip missile. Of course, Duncan wanted to leave the vicinity immediately. He didn't want the entire store to know that his senior partner was a big klutz. As I wondered how this could have happened, I picked up the dream whip boxes. This would never do for my trifle. Only real whipped cream would do for that. I admonished myself as a new difficulty came to me. How had this display been set up? Were the boxes piled in squares or triangles? I continued to stack the boxes. I hadn't actually noticed this display until I sent it flying. I decided the best thing to do was design the display as the best I could as I went along. Thus, the frustrated architect in my nature took over. Actually, it was quite fun, and before you can say Duncan wants a biscuit, there was a dream whip castle in the center of the aisle where the original display had stood. Other shoppers were more than willing to allow my moment of glory, while poor Dunk looked everywhere but at me. As he sat obediently waiting for my fun time to finish, he hoped that someone somewhere would turn off the limelight that his crazy cat was basking in. I gave the edifice one last admiring glance and was about to resume my shopping when an employee came along and stopped in front of my impromptu construction. Being a firm believer in the dictum that the best defense is a good offense, I felt compelled to comment, "That's a cute display you have there, but I think your castle needs a flag flying at the top of it." We quickly moved our cart forward. Duncan was absolutely sure that he wanted to hide anywhere. We found our place in line, ready to pay for my purchases. Taking a quick inventory of my cart's contents, I noted jelly roll, fruit, custard powder, whipping cream. Oh, fudge! We forgot the topping. Duncan, forward, whipping cream. Forward we proceeded, back in the chaos of the grocery store. Tail drooping and face cast down, Duncan was heard to ask, "Why can't Cat just buy them ice cream?" Hey, big guy, that's a good suggestion. We'll have to try that sometime. It's important to be consoling at the right moments, and this was one of those. I put the whipping cream into our cart. Sometimes it's smart to humor the men in your life.